Yeah, go to manage. Okay. So Krishna here is telling, Ihaiva Terjita Sarga Esham Samya Sthitam Manaha Nirdosham Hi Samam Brahma Tasmad Brahmani Te Sthitaha. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. Okay. So, coming to this particular shloka, previous shloka, it talks about how to see different, especially Krishna is talking about Pandita. So he mentioned about the three different categories. So he talks about Brahmana, then cow, elephant, dog, and dog eater. So he says Pandita Samadarshina. So you have to see equal vision. So what does that mean? So if we take the full spectrum of that particular shloka, it is categorized into three sections. So mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. How is that? So mode of goodness is Brahmana and cow, Gavini, and mode of passion, Hastini, elephant, and mode of ignorance, Shuni, that is the dog, and Shwapake, the dog eater. So these three categories it has been explained. So here the emphasis is on how the Pandita or the learned sage, he will see with equal vision everybody, irrespective of whatever the modes they are in. So, first of all, a person has to come beyond the three modes to see everybody in this category. So, that is our endeavor in devotional service, that we stay aloof from all these modes. So now, equal vision, does that mean that we will reciprocate with everybody in the same manner? So does it mean that does it come under appropriate reciprocation? How does it is that mean that I will embrace a cow, we'll hug a cow, okay, we'll embrace a cow. But is it the same that I'll go and embrace a tiger also? No, it doesn't mean like that. So one can embrace a cow, but one cannot embrace a tiger or a lion. So there's a difference. But how do you look equal vision? What does that mean? So point is that we look at the equality level, at the level of Atma Tattva. That means at the level of soul. That means every living, which is moving, non-moving in the entire creation. So everything has a soul, and that is how the functioning of the society is working. The entire animal society or human society or any other species, it is working on that basis. Because today, if we see, the society is completely, the world is fractured with prejudices. That means it is completely chaotic, because that is how we are living in Kali Yuga. So we generally try to talk about we are not this body, we are a soul. Then we'll tell people what it is required, but we practically miss out on this point. So it is a like it takes a little bit of endeavor to understand this. For this, we have to engage ourselves in uh, continuous, or at least in a day, sometime in reading books and hearing. So this is very important, or else you'll be out of it all the time if you do not get into this. So, or else we will be caught in the worldly affairs, and we'll just forget whatever we are doing right now. So during the class it is nice, but after that whole day we are forgetting what we actually are, practically wanted to do it. While hearing, we'll talk about this practical, that practical things we can do in devotional life. But when it actually we come out of the class, or we do try to do something, we are not able to practically implement it. So it takes a lot of endeavor to do that. So in the beginning, consciously we will do it, but later on it will become a habit. That's how we have come to devotional service. In the beginning, we were consciously we were very alert and observed that yes, this should not be consumed by myself first. I should offer it. But now it has become a habit. Whatever I do, I will offer it. I'm just taking one example. So practically, we can also see that devotees day by day, how they're increasing their habits in a good way. That's how it is working. So one aspect I'm just telling. So there are so many things the in the devotional limb when we talk about. So, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that there will be a time that everybody from the world will come and unite, and they will sing and dance, chanting Mahaprabhu's name, Gauranga's name in Navadvip. So that we have seen since Prabhupada went to the West and the Western disciples came. It was a surprise for all the people here in India, be it Mayapur or Surat or Mumbai, Delhi. So people like they were flocking. They've never seen these kind of things in their life. Somebody, a foreigner, especially after the independence or before independence, because the British system, they saw that everybody were wearing shoe, tie, all those blazers. But first time they are seeing that wearing a tilak, dhoti kurta, women in saris, that too in a foreign body. So that attracted. Then later on, we started inculcating these practices, the devotional practices. Now it has become a household activity for any corner of the city. If you go anywhere you live in India, practically if you travel anywhere apart from dham places, if you go to any small town or village or any cities, also anywhere you see, you'll meet devotees. You'll see someone with tilak chanting back, or someone is doing kirtan, or there will be some center or temple. So Prabhupada actually wanted this, that in India, especially he was trying so much to make things happen, and it was not happening somehow. He did so many ways in distributing books or opening temples, trying to do something. So working on that, it was not happening. But he says that India should be successful in this. Now, there's so much of success in India. We see everywhere preaching is happening. So this will continue. So that is there. Now, coming to this shloka, what does that mean? So, first of all, this is about tolerance and equanimity, or seeing with the equal vision. So with this, I wanted to emphasize on one particular Srimad Bhagavatam shloka, which talks about this. So, the shloka is from third canto, 25th chapter, 21st shloka. तितिक्षवः कारुणिकः सुहृदः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्ताः साधवः साधुभूषणाः. Bhushana means you're carrying something, you're wearing something. That's why we call no abhushana. That's the feature you have. Someone is wearing abhushana, wearing a lot of jewelries. Oh, you're getting attracted to that person. If he's just wearing some normal dress, you don't get attracted. Somebody is wearing so much of jewelries, you get attracted. So bhushana, that is what we have. So so what does the translation mean? So, the symptoms of a sadhu are that he is tolerant, merciful, and friendly to all living entities. He has no enemies, he is peaceful, he abides by the scriptures, and all his characteristics are sublime. So, very simple way it has been explained here, very easy to understand. So, what exactly Prabhupada wanted here is, first of all, the foremost quality of a sadhu or a devotee is titikshava. That means to be tolerant or forgiving. Now, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj says that um, he adds a very nice statement to this. He says we should not only forgive, but also forget the fact that we have forgiven, because this is something like we have to think. Okay, I have forgiven a person, but I have to forget that also, because every time when I remember that I have forgiven him, then it comes to my back of my mind that why did I forgive him? Because I saw some fault in him. I forgave him. He made some mistake. So that keeps reminding. So let me forget that also. So, or else the negative aspect of that devotee will keep coming in me. So this is a very nice point he makes out. So it's very important. Of course, our memory erases, but certain things in our life, when when we travel across or meet so many devotees, there are instances where we get ill-treated or mistreated by someone. When we go to the temple or we go to the center or we meet anybody. But it's also a quality of a devotee that if you want to develop in Krishna consciousness, you need to be tolerant. Now you need to be tolerant with the outside people, as in the non-devotees who are materialistic, and the fact that we know that everybody is in different modes, either in goodness or passion or ignorance. We also fall under that sometime. We are not constantly under the same mode always. I'm not in the mode of goodness always. I keep the example is when somebody is drowning in the ocean. So they falls in the ocean. So there's a tide of waves which are, moving him here and there. So there's so much fluctuations happening. There's just hitting the waves in your life. So similarly, our mind is also working that way. And we also see so many obstacles in our life. Either you take materially or even spiritually also. So what happens is we just get washed away. So to keep ourselves stable, we have to find a place to sit. So that is what Krishna is talking about here in 5.19. So he's telling you have to be stable, O Arjuna, that you see with the sameness and equanimity. You come to that level, you'll be able to understand things. So forgiving is very, very important. Forgiving means you have to be tolerate with people. So there was one king who had a servant. He has many servants. So one of the servant had taken a loan from him. He wanted for some emergency. So the king gave him the money, but he did not return back. So the king asked him, "So why aren't you giving back my money? Because you took a loan. It's your duty that you give back the money. If you don't give back, then I'll send you to another kingdom. And you'll be thrown out of the kingdom and you'll be sold to that another king." So the servant fell at his feet, the king, and he asked for forgiveness. See, I'm very poor and I'm not able to return back this debt somehow. And please forgive me. Please do not sell me to another king or send me to another kingdom. So, looking at his pitiful life, the king forgave him. So he asked sorry and he told his situation. So basically, king forgave him, and he said, "Okay, fine, you carry on with your work." But at the same time, when he came out and he met one of his friend, he had taken money from him also. The thing is, he did not return back the friend's money. So what the friend did, he took him to the court. He made him to the smaller court, and with the influence, he got him arrested and put him in the jail. Now the king got to know this situation, and he chastised that person, and he got this servant released. The thing is, we are in this particular situation. We don't know what we have done from our past lives. Somehow, Krishna has been very merciful that we have, somehow, by the mercy of the Lord, we have taken this human birth and we have come to this stage of Krishna consciousness. So, we do not deserve this human birth also, but somehow, by the mercy of devotees or by mercy of the Lord, we have come here. Like we have met Srila Prabhupada, we are reading his books. So, so many devotees we are meeting and they're giving us guidance. So, we have to tolerate so much by others. That is the point again I'm coming, because when we go to our regular classes in physical or go to the temple, we go through something in our life. Uh, so we have to basically hold on. Uh, be merciful to others. That is what I'm saying. So everybody cultivates it, everybody will understand each other properly. So even though they are maybe out of that, that situation, the person would have been rude, or maybe his behavior would have been little different than what we expected. So we have to be tolerant in that way. That is what the emphasis is on. Okay, so very much points to be noted here. And in the terms of equanimity, the next point, we are talking about tolerance and equanimity. So how do we cultivate that? So we are all fallen souls, and we are tossed by ocean waves. That is there. But this Bhagavad Gita, these verses actually tell us to look at a different level. So, so here, engaging in bhakti is like getting on a boat and strengthening our intention to serve Krishna, and He's the lifeline for us. So, doing this, whatever the vulnerabilities, whatever the unwanted things which comes in our life, because the world is unpredictable. Today, we know what is happening. Yeah, as the days are going, we are thinking that, oh, something worse is going to happen. That is what always runs in our mind. So I'm going to see the worst in my life. So let me try to grab some best things in my life. That is why I'm working on that. So that is the things which is running around my mind. So we have to somehow come out of it, or else this is a vicious cycle. We'll be, in anxiety that something worse will happen, something worse will happen. And to eliminate that or avoid that, I'll be working on the best things. But nothing is best. Everything is temporary and everything is getting destroyed or diminished over the time. Nothing is going to, remain permanent. Like they were like nowadays people, if you see, they're clicking so many photos. You see, the mobile is filled with photos, memory, these memorable life. But how long? There are so many huge data centers across the globe. In USA, they have kept the data centers inside the ocean. So many datas. You're uploading something. You're using so many social media. But do you think that these things will remain permanent? No, it is going to just erase after some time. It's just going to erase. We had our physical copies of photos in our olden days. Some are torn or gone. Now, similarly, our data is full. We just have to delete something. So this entire world is like that. The material world is like Krishna says, he gives you remembrance. At the same time, he'll erase the memory also. He'll forget. So it's whatever you try, whatever the past life or whatever you have done, you cannot remember anything. So similarly, whatever the data we have today, it might be stored, but it will be deleted or erased at one point in time. It will be destroyed. That is how the world works. So nothing remains permanence in this place. So we try so much hard to keep things, to ourselves. So to develop this equanimity, looking at everything equal, it's more of insight, you know, insight thought which you have to get into. That's why 5.18 is very much essential to understand 5.19. When you see things, it is the internal reflection you're having happening, and you're able to see that way. So that is very important. So we have to learn how to see with equal vision, at the same time tolerate things which comes in our way. So I was talking about tolerance level. So somebody said, okay, Krishna also tolerated, but there was a limit. In the case of Shishupal, so up to 100, beyond 100, he was killed. He was cut off his head. Of course, there is a level, and the way there's a limit, and there's a way to reciprocate. For example, Srila Prabhupada, when he was first went to US from, he was staying in New York. One of the Mayavadi yoga guru, so Dr. Mishra. So he tolerated, he because he used to stay in the same apartment, somehow gave the place. So those days, Prabhupada did not know anybody. So but he used to speak all nonsense. We are all one. after we, go back, we'll all become one with the Lord, all that he was speaking, those kind of philosophy. So Prabhupada used to argue with him. During the class, he would not allow Prabhupada to speak or do. So Prabhupada would just play kirtans and then he would speak. So this was going on forever. But Prabhupada had argument after the classes. So they would have arguments. No, this is not the thing, right thing, what you're saying. So all these things, but he would never agree. Dr. Mishra would never agree to Prabhupada's point, but he was a good friend. Prabhupada tolerated, but it was not okay. It was not happening for him because Prabhupada's mission was to preach. So that was the not right place to preach. So he came out of it. He came out of the place, and he used to stay in a small kind of a office room. The office room was just you have it's a kind of long hall. You just have that place. You don't have even toilets, also no kitchen, nothing. So Prabhupada would sit there. He would read his books. He would sit and translate. A small light was there, and there was no sofa or anything, just his blanket to sleep. And on that he would sit, and one small convertible table, like a easy locker he had, and a small typewriter he had. So that's how he used to live. And even for going to a toilet also, he used to go across to Dr. Mishra's, crossing 2, 3 lanes to take bath or go to the toilet to his, the ashram, yoga ashram, which he had. So we have to understand how much Prabhupada tolerated. So because his mission, his mood was to spread Krishna consciousness. So, I mean, if you read through the Leelamrita, you'll understand the tolerance level of Srila Prabhupada. Many people say no, only after he started ISKCON, he realized. No, it's not like that. Even much before, right from the childhood. If you see the days of from the Grahastha life of Srila Prabhupada, there's a devotee of Srila Prabhupada. She did a very nice service just before she passed away. She went across India and taking all the contacts, she met all the most of the people who met, interacted, or who were very important, recipients to Prabhupada, and she interviewed them. So it is really startling if you read that book. Some of the points which I have read, I mean, it's out of the world that Prabhupada was um, so much tolerant, and he saw everybody with equal vision. He never had, so in the purport, Prabhupada says that one will not have any uh, enemy also. So that way Prabhupada never had any enemies. So that's why we say Prabhupada was walking and talking the same. He is the living, moving Bhagavata. Whatever the scriptures have been mentioned, he was doing that, and it was inbuilt in his character. So that is the quality of a pure devotee. Um, so that is what we see. So he carried that. So many instances, like he never. One instance I remember is he tells his disciple that I see my Guru Maharaj always. Now that kind of a vision we don't have. I may look at his picture once in a day, or I may look online. I'll have darshan or I'll meet him, but I'm not seeing him everywhere. But that level of absorption is different, and things he sees. For example, he was sitting in a park and he was uh, speaking to one devotee. It was a new that time that Prabhupada had not even started a temple also in US. So he was telling that yes, there will be devotees dancing in this park in the future, and there will be temples across the globe, and people will be happy taking Krishna consciousness. So he's able to see, and he's telling that it's only the time is not meeting us, so the time will come. So he's able to see. So that's a vision. What we able to. We don't have that vision. We just go with the flow with our life. We go with the flow of the life. Whatever comes, we'll take it, either good or bad. So to come to this level, of course, after Srila Prabhupada, many of his disciples, there so many pure devotees are there. They are experiencing that. So they are able to behave in that way, built in that qualities. So that develops, that is the exhibition or manifestation of the spiritual nature. So that comes out. So, what we have to understand here is from this particular uh, section of what we are reading today, especially this shlokas is very important. Um so we have to think. The summary is, it's easier to notice others freaking out. When we see others freaking out, we'll find fault or yeah, this person is. But it's very difficult to recognize the same quality in ourselves. That is the thing. We'll tell, we'll preach others. We are very good at advising. Free advice में देने में बहुत अच्छा है. But then when it comes to us, we'll not be able to do that. So simply telling ourselves to, overreacting or its effects, it doesn't work out. So, or blaming the world or surrounding, chaotic doesn't work out. So one has to recognize the mind, because the mind is the real cause of our, the situation in life, and we have to be, introspecting ourselves and practice. So practice of devotional service is very important. So practice and cultivation of this devotional life, the devotional service, the practices we have, be it chanting, reading, hearing, practical, services. So what happens is there is steadiness, there's stability in us, and you'll see that the strength increases. Our dependence on Krishna increases slowly, 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 and the mind becomes calmer. And any abrupt situations which comes in our way, we'll be able to understand at that level. We'll react in a different way. Rather, I can say we'll respond in a different way. So this response to life's ups and downs is where we have to come to that stage. So that is the inbuilt quality we have to try to endeavor for. So this is the very healthy way of living, or else you'll be caught up in this attachment of this material life, going on solving problems, and will never come out of it. So our business of Krishna consciousness is to get out of this bodily concept of life. Okay. That is a later stage where we speak about the higher philosophy. No, no, Krishna, you put me anywhere, but let me remember you. I cannot even think about that. First thing is, let me face the challenges, whatever is coming in my way. Let me try to be stable. Let me become sober in that. Then I can think about the next level. Because what Mahaprabhu has given is the highest. Now, to go to that level, we have to come understand this level, what Krishna is talking about here. Yeah. So this way we'll be able to understand easily. So this is a constructive progress of devotional life. Okay. So this is the summary of this class 5.19 of tolerance and equanimity, how we see things. Okay, so I end my class here with this. Thank you very much for attending the session. See you again next class. Hare Krishna, devotees. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please, can you tell us the Bhagavatam verse that you quoted?
Yes, Mataji. It is third canto, 25th chapter, 21st shloka,
Thank you,
3.25 to 1.
25 to 21. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you, devotees. Dandavat Pranam.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare
Thank
Krishna to
you,
all
Prabhuji.
devotees assembled. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai to
Dandavat
all
Pranam.
of you.
Thank you, all devotees. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Ratnams. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.